Hey guys, Alpha from Alpha Animations. This is just going to be a quick tutorial to explain how to do item glowing with items in Blender, because I know some of you kind of like the glowing effect you can get on your sword. So basically you're going to get whatever item you want to use. For this I'm just going to use a 3D sword I made. I've got several of them in here, and you're going to link or append it, whichever you happen to be doing, and there we go, you've got your item. Now basically how this glowing works is it separates the sword out into layers, so perhaps all of that outer bluey edge bit will be layer 0, but then this brighter colour will be layer 1, and in layer 1 we want everything that's in layer 1 to glow. So once you've got all the nodes set up, which I already do, so I'll pretty much just explain how they work, you can, once you've got them all set up, you can easily put anything you like into the glowing layer. But basically what the idea is that in this Layers tab here, there's things that you can turn on, and this will save additional information with each image you render for compositing with. And for this information we want to save material index, which basically means that each material, its number is saved. So if we put all of this blue stuff in as material index 1, it will get saved as index 1, which is the equivalent of using layers. So we're going to get a material index output in our layers, and then we're going to put it through a filter so that we only use material index 1. And now to basically get the glowing effect, what we're going to do is we're going to blur all of the index so that we kind of get the same colour, just quite widespread and smudged. Like, it's not going to show in the default render, but if I render an image, no camera, shift add camera, I've already set up everything on this just so that, well, for convenience, so that I can show you it as I explain it. That, and I kind of like to be able to do it easily. So view, camera, and render an image. Now once it's rendered the image, it's going to save that data, and it'll render a second time for the compositing. And as you can see, it looks like it's glowing. But what that actually is if we go back into our node editor and we tick backdrop, we'll see what we've done. What that actually is if we just take this one and put it into the viewer, all we're going to get is a blurry sword. And that's all of the colour that we want to be blurred being blurred. And when we combine those two images together, the blurry and the default, we get a blurry, a kind of glowy effect over top of the blurry effect. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you muck around with it, you'll kind of understand. So the way the filter works is you got to set a background color, and that's going to be in your mix filter as image or color number 1, and you should normally set it as black with alpha of 1, and then just set your image into there. Now your ID value's got to go into the factor, because then it's going to say, hey, we're only using this. Because then it's going to put your image in and use it as a filter, and that's just going to filter it. And then you're going to blur it. Quite self-explanatory. You can muck around with these, but I find the best way to do it is just 4, 4, 4, and then a factor of 4 when you add it to the original image. When you're adding it, remember to put it in the bottom, because if you put it in the top, as you'll see in a sec, it's going to look kind of stupid. See? You'll only see the other one. But yeah, again, you'll kind of figure that out as you play around with it. And I think you can flip these. No, you can't, see? That's what happens when you flip them. So, yeah. You have to be quite specific about which ones you put it into. Because, yeah. And that explains the noting part of it. Now, how to set up your object so it glows. The glowing works with material indexes. So basically, you're going to have two materials. Your default material, which is all of the stuff you don't want glowing, and then your second material, which is all the stuff that you do want glowing. So if I tab in over here and select, click select on my glowing, as you can see, all of this stuff is glowing, but not the brown handle bit. Like, it's easier to see with a sword. Sorry, a pick. Hang on, I'll just link in a pick as well. Link append, and then we'll just render another image. But you'll see that only the blade bit glows and not the handle, because, well, obviously it looks kind of stupid if you make the handle glow. See? So, yeah, it's not too hard. And once you've got them separated out into two materials, the only difference you're really going to do is, like, when I make my two materials, all I do is I add a new material, and then I use the exact same material, well, obviously not a pick material, duplicate it so that it's a single user copy, and then add one to the pass index. Obviously, assigning faces to it is done with the assign button, so maybe I might assign this face to it. Of course, I'm not going to do that because that'll mess up my object, but yeah, if that makes sense, then I hope I've helped. So, see you guys later.